What is up, Internet? Welcome back to the Type QQ Gaming channel. We got some more Dokingan. And I don't want to say even some. This is probably, to be completely honest, the very last video of Dokingan for the channel. Sadly and somberly, I have to probably admit that. Primarily because this is my scumbag credit feeder run here, and kind of realization that never in a million years will I be able to 1cc this game. I think we're getting better. We're getting to the point, but these last couple levels, or the last level and the final boss, is a goddamn nightmare of no small stature. Of no exaggeration. And I don't think I had it in me to ever beat it. Like, I think I will die of old age beforehand. I mean, luckily we were able to complete this game in the sort of 5 bazillion credits it offers us to beat the game in. But yeah, I'm not necessarily calling it much of a victory or much, of a positive note, I suppose, if I'm kind of stretching for a phrase to just kind of describe just the feeling of that, like, a very hollow win. I wanted to see the ending. I kind of wanted to get a glimpse of just what type of mountain we're looking at, and yeah, we're looking at something that's going to be very fucking steep at the end, and that I don't think I have any business kind of climbing. And not to say that, like, I'll never get that good, although I think that's kind of safe to say, is that sometimes I feel like I have fat that needs to kind of be shaved off the channel. That I have too many things kind of going on at the same time. Even to the point where I think I misspoke a little, a few videos ago when I said, expect these videos because these are the most popular. And I actually had misspoke. I said I think Dokingan, Bullet Soul, Infinite Burst, and Toho 16, Hidden Star, and 4 Seasons were my, I think, top 3. That was actually not true. Upon a second look, Oath to the Stars is certainly more popular than I believe Dokingan is. And I guess I was just kind of a little clouded by my sort of favoritism for Dokingan. However, I think Oath to the Stars kind of sits in that valley as well of being pretty brutally hard, but, generous with continues. Like, I'm not... And excuse me as I choke on my own spit. I'll be honest. Like 9 times out of 10 or 99 times out of 100, I don't have any interest in continues. Like, I think, like, a lot of 1cc, or not, rather, a lot of shmup players are more interested in 1ccing. They'll practice, but if there's a practice mode, who cares about continues? I have no interest of beating the game in 5 continues and then being like, all right, well, that's done. I beat the game. That's not really how it works. My grandma can beat these games in 5 continues, or I can beat these games in 5 continues, inebriated. That's not the point of it. The point is not to beat this sort of, highly difficult, attention grabbing games, with 5 continues, and yeah, and like no skill, no attention, that sort of thing. I guess I'm really kind of losing myself there and just kind of bullshit vocabulary. But yeah, I guess what I'm getting at is both Dokingan and Oath to the Stars, to a lesser extent, because I have been playing or testing it out on normal mode. I kind of, I want to keep playing that game because it is a good game, although challenging. I do want to see how far we can go in normal and harder modes, but the normal mode, like, that game is so fucking hard. And it's not the fact that it's, it offers, complex bullet patterns. It's just relentless. I think that's the best way I can describe it. There are certainly some really hard bullet patterns, but I wouldn't say they were hard. I would say that it's dense, and everything fires at you, and everything's fast, and there's no there's no groove, you know, there's no sort of timing or sort of groove. I know I just said that word, but yeah, there's no real sense of rhythm, you know, of getting a hold of the game. The game is just pounding you, and you're, you know, really just kind of on the ropes the entire time. You know, I kind of call back to like Choren Shah 68K, where the game certainly does get difficult, but you do feel that there's a sort of wave back and forth that you can kind of move with, that the game's kind of trying to pull you along and say, this is how you beat this game, you know, depending on the enemies, you kind of want to go left and right, kind of graze everything. You know, Mushihime Sama does kind of the same thing. Whereas like you can graze just about like 99% of things until you get to a boss where you kind of do need to know what's going on and what's happening. Oath to the Stars, you know, is a pretty awesome, you know, small team game, but it is hardcore, absolutely hardcore, and to the point where I don't think I made it through the first level on normal mode 1cc'ing it. You know, it's absolutely just like everything's flying at you at breakneck pace, everything's firing at you. If you miss something, it's turning around and firing at you again. You know, some bullet patterns are an absolute, you know, clusterfuck of death. So, you know, when I'm thinking about, you know, chopping up or, you know, discontinuing games, you know, Dokingan and Oath of the Stars certainly are on the chopping block. I think I might do a couple more videos of Oath of the Stars, just kind of showing off the harder difficulties, regardless of results, just to do it and be like, look how fucking hard this game is, other than just keeping everyone in the dark about it. And unfortunately, I think this might be the final video for Dokingan. In much in the same way of, you know, credit feeding through this game and showing how I do, or how bad I do. Because to be completely honest, you know, when you kind of go into this game feeling like I'm just going to credit feed through it, you know, you do kind of, you know, fall into a sort of mind frame of like, fuck, you know, like it doesn't matter if I live or die, that sort of thing. You know, I'm not going to really try because I'm just going to fucking continue this, you know, regardless. So a lot of the play, as I'm sure you've noticed, is a little not so good. But we are certainly getting to that sort of area that we have been perishing in the past, and, you know, we are at 3 lives. So maybe it's not as absolutely dreadful as past videos have been, but all the same, you know, you can definitely tell there's some points where I'm just kind of like, fucking just get off the screen and just charge enemies with my sort of blade there and just have no regard for my life, you know, that sort of thing. It's like, fine, I'll get hit, just get the fuck off my screen. I mean, those type of enemies that shoot that sort of blue V attack, I mean, they're right up there with those enemies that I'm just like, fucking hit me, just get off the screen. Okay, so we're certainly not getting the next levels where we usually perish. We still able to beat this guy. However, that phase of his attacks are still a bastard. It takes our first life, I believe, right there. But yeah, speaking of cranking up difficulties of things, expect a Toho video later on tonight as well, if you're the type that watches like every video and not just some videos. You know, if you kind of get the idea that, like, you know, there's a little bit of like vlog in every video, you know, that sort of thing, and you know, they're all kind of time sensitive, not particularly time sensitive, but like, you know, I don't know what I'm saying, but yeah. But yes, we're up to yeah, particularly ugly at the end, huh? Yeah, we're up on normal difficulty on Toho 16, and to kind of like reaction. But I'm not going to get into it. That's what the whole Toho video there is going to be about. It's no sense wasting this here. But I guess I am just kind of like treading water until we can kind of get to the later stages of this game. This is the level I do believe now that usually claims us. I mean, we do have 2 lives, if barely holding on to that second life. There's certainly a lot of enemies that die really quick that you kind of want to reach up and stab real quick before they fire a lot of bullets onto you. But yes, there's some other enemies like these ships that was on the left that are just like really just kind of a pain in the ass to deal with because they do stick around. These guys that shoot the sort of purple fires there, those are perfectly fine because they just go down in one hit. And this stuff gets real tricky real quick because you can take down these guns, but they do regenerate maybe a second after you take them down. So it's very much just it's a survivor type of yeah, that's tough. That the series that you have with those sort of gun turrets are more or less surviving the level than it is kind of defeating enemies so they don't attack you. Yeah, this sort of stuff is just so bonkers. Really no business staying alive there. Yeah, and very much to the point of like, just fuck off, right? Go away. You also can tell there's a bit of a dead point between attacks where they allow you to kind of move. And that's pretty much an indication of, yes, you should move right now. However, we kind of got pegged there. Yeah, it does not take long for those sort of laser turrets to come back up. I don't know, maybe not even a second, but rough stuff, And taking sort of advice from last time and not really concentrating on the guns anymore. I'm just really just rushing down that larger ship and just kind of, although getting tagged every bit of the way, down to our last life with 3 hits of this 1 CC rather. So pretty much kind of, I think we're going to perish pretty well where we have been at this sort of boss. And really at the same patterns that we've always had difficulty with. It's so weird. It's not I think it's not necessarily a complex pattern, but it's certainly a speed that I'm just not comfortable with. This stuff, very basic, very easy. Really just ignore the gray, just focus on the blue. And then when you've got that in your mind, easy stuff. Now, it's this. I'm not feeling the timing. I don't know what's going on, but it's like, as I see it come around, and then I'm just moving. And then it's like, I've only been able to dodge one of those waves. Until then, like, everything hits us. And it's just a bizarre thing. It's like, I see it, I'm not comprehending, the proper movement, I suppose. Getting too close to getting hit there. But here we are, we're on our 2nd CC. And this is certainly at a point where it's like, well, we're on our 2nd CC, who fucking cares, right? Time to just kind of pound through, I guess. But also coming across stuff we've never really seen before. And this certainly looks a lot worse than it is. However, I am playing it pretty awfully. You don't want to touch the guy. You don't want to touch the boss there. And really, the only thing you really need to worry about is the the red bullets and the blue bullets that come out from the sides, the fire, as long as you're have your sword up, is completely taken care of. You know, in fact, it's probably just all points, to be honest. Pretty easy basic pattern there, and we were able to just kind of put some bullets in the air, rather, because it kind of got us a little defensive. And this stuff is absolute hell on earth. So many guns. Maybe we should shoot here. You know, maybe the bullets go through the boss and take down the guns as well, because it gets messy real quick. And I think, yeah, we are kind of killing guns as well, but still, fucking disastrous. Nice sort of full screen explosion there, but as you can see, I mean, we we cross that stage, but weren't able to beat our high score. So, I mean, we're still behind our high score, if that tells you just how bad this video is. I mean, not by much, to be honest, but that gives you an idea of just how the time frame of, or not the time frame, but the mentality, you know, the sort of mind frame, rather, that goes in when you think, like, I'm just going to credit feed this. I don't care. You know, or less, you know, not necessarily like I don't care, but this is more or less just an experiment, and, you know, I'm going to see what the rest of the game looks like, just so I can get a gauge of things. And, you know, unfortunately, like I was saying, you know, it's out of our league. Absolutely 100% out of our league. This part, however, has a really great rhythm to it. I really like it how you know, there's a lot of safe zones if you keep moving right to left. Yeah, pretty good timing, pretty good enemy placement. I like that a lot. And even I would like to see, like, maybe like little changes to it as well. You know, like maybe a little evolution of it. This is absolute hell. Just the sort of enemies that come down, fire a lot of stuff, and you don't have any time to kind of imagine what the fuck is going on. And yeah, this is sort of relentless nightmare that's, you know, really just brings it home to me, going, yeah, we have no business trying to 1cc this game in our current skill, because that's just fucking brutal. Pretty interesting mini boss there. I like that, where it has that sort of time delayed, you know, pink laser attack. And some pretty cool, like, 3D graphics there. Kind of like going into the sort of crevices of the Death Star. This stuff is absolutely okay, although we're playing pretty poorly at it. You know, I really think, like, speed and rhythm, I think, is sometimes, you know, underrated qualities of a game. You know, if you can understand how the attacks work, there goes another continue there. You know, you can take a challenge, but if it's inconsistent or confusing or maybe just a little off, then it arbitrarily gets a little harder and kind of almost or slightly confusing. Some of the games certainly feels like that for me, where I'm like, I just don't know I don't know what to do. You know, like that one attack from the boss, I think on stage 3 or 4, where he comes down close with those big blue sort of walls, and it, you know, there's just a boss that rushes me down and shoots me with a lot of bullets. I like, my hands are in the air going, okay, you're not teaching me anything. I'm just, what, you know? I love this guy. This is a great enemy. You know, he teaches you to move you around, and then, yeah, absolutely amazing enemy there. I really wish he could have been early in the game, because, yeah, he corners us and gets a hit. Good on him. But yeah, those purple enemies there with those sort of, you know, fly around me attack. Very cool. And yeah, if unless I'm mistaken, I think this is the asshole from the very first level. Like, glad to imagine seeing you here, huh? Of course, his attacks are a bit more extreme now. Faster and a bit more wilder, and yeah, more extreme, I suppose. Yeah, maybe a bit too fast, I would say. Absolutely okay with this pattern. This is a kind of a classic, cool pattern. I like that sort of stuff. However, just putting myself in a bad position and not giving myself too much of a... Yeah, what is going on? Although at a distance you kind of see what's going on, but looks like that's the end of them there. Or maybe just another form, I suppose. No, final boss time. Or rather, kind of a mini stage to the final boss. And this is really where I was like, yeah, I think we're done here. I mean, very cool, very energetic. The soundtrack is just absolutely insane and pretty awesome, but, you know, we have no business. Yeah, it's too much. It's too much. In every sense of the word, it's too much. You know, even if I live to see like a singularity and my brain is uploaded to the internet where I can spend eternity beating this game, I would probably still just give up here and say, no, I think I'm okay. And like program AI to do it for me. And to type my name to the high score. Final boss here, and he's just pegging us left and right with everything. And we really should make better dodges, but like here, but seeing some of the pattern there, and although we stumbled a little bit there. Oh yeah, not very good stuff. Yeah, that's certainly where you want to be. You know, when you in future, yeah, you can kind of time it out now. Like, okay, one of these you got to be the fuck out of the way. Yeah. And this is certainly attacks that are kind of like switching people from the regular attack to the sword attack by just covering the stage in flame, that sort of thing. And that appears to be it, I think. Yeah, and as we're done, getting pretty close to the end of the video, I believe that's it. No extra forms of the boss. Yep, there's the credits. But yeah, somberly, like I was saying, you know, and a little, I don't know. You know, I would certainly leave the book open and say we could come back and play this for fun, but the quest to 1C this game is officially abandoned, and this could certainly be the last video for this game. You know, I do like this game. It's very fun, but yeah, that last level and those bosses at the end, just too much for us. Yeah, and that's that. That's okay. There's going to be games that are just going to be too hard. But yeah, that's it. That's going to be it for this video. Feel free to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, do all that stuff. And we'll play some more other games very soon.